This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2017 here in Vancouver. I have with me Paul Roberts, Predictive Discovery Limited. It's a publicly traded company and the symbol is PDI on the ASX. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. So, Paul, let's get started with an overview on Predictive, if you would.
Well, Predictive is a gold exploration company focused in Francophone West Africa with very large ground position in Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire.
You know, we hear more and more about these West African discoveries. So tell me a little bit about what you're sitting on.
We're sitting on multiple projects. We have a relatively advanced project in Burkina Faso with a couple of 100,000 ounces in resource and another 500,000 ounces plus in exploration target, which is similar to an inferred resource in 43-101 terms. And down in Cote d'Ivoire, we've got a bunch of gold mineralized systems that we're working on. The most interesting right now is the Bundiali project, same belt as the Tongon belt, the Rand Gold Mine, where we've been getting some very good gold hits, including 30 meters of 8 grams.
And, you know, are there elephants in the region that are very close to where your projects are?
Yes, certainly there are elephants in the region. Tongon is a big mine. We're along strike from Siama, which is just over the border in Cote d'Ivoire. Indeed, there are other large deposits which are close to our ground. For example, Bonikro and Agbao are within trucking distance of our Kukumbo project to the south. But the other thing about the opportunity in Cote d'Ivoire is it's very underexplored and there's a lot of opportunity to find big deposits there still.
Now, what grade are we talking about?
Well, the grade on the inferred resource that we have, or rather the indicated and inferred resource that we have in Burkina Faso, is about 3 grams, 2.5 to 3 grams, quite good grade, and very nice widths of mineralisation, good metallurgy. Down in Cote d'Ivoire, we've got a variety of intercepts, but certainly we've been getting some very high grades in places and visible gold on the Bundiali project. The first hole we drilled on Kukumbo down there near Bonikro was 7.5 meters of 16 grams from surface. So we're certainly getting some good grades in places.
So my next question is about the drilling going on. What do you have over the next 6 months?
Right, so we've just completed 2 drilling programs. We're waiting for results on one. We've just put out results a few days ago on another. We've got a big program of drilling expected after the rainy season. So we're in the rainy season in West Africa right now, and we're expecting to be drilling again in October. Certainly between October and December we'll be drilling both in Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire, and if anything the pace of drilling will increase in the first half of next year.
What kind of political climate do you face in the West African regions?
West Africa, Francophone West Africa is all part of ECOWAS, and the ECOWAS countries have shown a lot of commitment to democracy, and so we've seen democratic transitions in most of these countries. From a political point of view, both Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso and some of the other countries in that region are quite politically stable, and we're very happy working there. Beyond that, the fiscal regime and the general friendliness to mining investment is good.
What's your background?
I'm a geologist. I've been in the business for a long time. I've also been involved in the development of a technology which we use in predictive discovery, which is called Predictore.
Is this a proprietary technology?
It's partly a proprietary technology, and it helps us identify areas with a high probability of large deposits.
And how does it work?
Simplest part of it is we use advanced processing techniques for aeromagnetic data to identify deep structures which are not obvious in geological maps and not obvious in geophysical data sets. And those deep structures, we think, are controlling the distribution of the largest of the gold deposits throughout this region.
So, as a geologist, what drew you to the West African mines and the West African territory?
Right, well, it's a combination of things. Firstly, the Uranium gold belt in West Africa contains more than 60 plus 1 million ounce gold deposits, including Obuasi, which is as an 80 million ounce deposit, is one of the biggest gold deposits in the world. So it's a very well endowed belt. At the same time, gold is distributed over multiple greenstone belts, so there's a lot of opportunity there. It's also very underexplored, especially right now, Côte d'Ivoire, and we can see that from the fact that gold discoveries keep on cropping up. And finally, in terms of our particular technology, this style of gold deposit is what our technology is most suited to.
So where did you explore before?
Well, I've explored in a lot of places, but a large part of my career has been in Australia. I've also worked in Peru, and I've certainly worked on project generation in India, in Ireland, so in a number of other countries in the world. But the bulk of my experience has been in Australia, not only on gold, but on many commodities, on diamonds, on base metals, on uranium, and even a little bit of oil.
So now, you're a project generator, correct?
Correct.
Why did you choose to go that route?
Right, because over the last few years, what we've seen, having been a single project company for a number of years, is that you can make a discovery, but getting the funding to translate from discovery through to final feasibility and mine development is extremely hard. The issue is raising enough equity without issuing so many shares that you destroy the value for a shareholder. So for us, the project generator model is a better model. It enables us to offer many more options for our investors, and at the same time keeps the burn rate down to a manageable level so that we're not having very dilutive capital raisings every 5 minutes.
So Paul, let me ask you as a follow-up question, how many project generators are there in West Africa?
As far as we're aware, very few, and particularly project generators with the footprint that we have. We're covering, in terms of permits and permit applications, over 7,000 square kilometres in ground, and we have plans to expand our footprint. We don't think there's very much competition in that space, either listed on the ASX or listed on the Canadian exchange.
Let's get your website out there for our investor audience, if you would.
The website address is www.predictivediscovery.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Roberts, Predictive Discovery Limited. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is PDI on the ASX. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2017 right here in Vancouver. Paul, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Shelley.
My pleasure.